Hey family, how you guys doing? Look, I know I supposed to went live on the 14th, but this is like, I ain't gonna make no excuse. I ain't gonna make no excuses, but life happens. Life happens. And this is part two of Make That Make Sense. Man, I should have got some lotion. But anyway, I'm gonna use some vanilla. Anyway, I know the last video, y'all thought I was on a rant. I wasn't. It's like kind of sort of, I'm gonna use some olive oil. Kind of sort of family. I was on a rant, but it's like, it's like inside of your spirit. Yeah. This is my lotion today. This is my lotion today. Some natural olive oil from Morocco. Yes. Hands look a little ashy. I know I've been getting in here working and running around and doing everything except getting on this video. And make sure, because I'm always washing my hands. I'm always washing my hands. So I be getting up and my hands be all dry. And I be like, what? I need to put lotion. And I know sometimes you go in people restrooms and it be like a lotion. I be wondering. So I got to do that. I got to do that, family. Look. Sitting here fixing myself on live, but I don't even care. I don't even care. But I supposed to went live, like I said, on the 14th. But like things happen. It is what? Almost 15 days, 14 days, but it doesn't matter. I'm live. I'm live. And this is part two of Make That Make Sense, because sometimes it ain't saying we're too smart. It's just that we just been lied to. We've been lied to. And I know I keep saying that, fam. Be like, you always talk being lied to. You ain't know. You ain't know. Because look, like I was talking about the answers in the book. I finally got the book. I finally brought the book. Like I didn't put too much oil. I got oil on my pants. But anyway, I finally got the book because I'm gonna read some stuff out the book so y'all guys could know. But all I was gonna say is I remember me, going to my physician, me going to my physician, and I just knew they had all the answers. I just knew that, I'm gonna get taken care of. I'm gonna get things rectified. I'm gonna get things rectified. And it just took my daughter going on YouTube to change my whole damn life about my body. Remember, this is your body, family. This is your body. And we're putting it in the hands of someone that we supposed to trust. And think about it. Think about it. Shouldn't that be your parents? Shouldn't that be somebody in your family that's has wisdom? I'm gonna say wisdom, because just because you at a certain age doesn't mean you have wisdom. Because some people have been sipping the juice too long and they don't have the wisdom. They don't have the wisdom. And I just want to just speak on that a little bit. But no, not speak on that. But we got to go to our grandparents. We got to go to our grandparents. We got to go to our great grandparents. Those who you got your grandparents, y'all better go get them secrets, go get those answers answered, especially about your body. Especially about your body. Because I know I had a customer came into the shop and they was like, you know about castor oil and turpentine? I'm like, y'all better stop sleeping on that turpentine. Y'all better stop sleeping on that turpentine. And look, special announcement. If y'all rocking with the organic, I mean, look, I sometimes don't even like saying that word organic, but we're talking about all of oregano. Please, fam, please. If you're doing all oregano, I know Viola all over the place, but I'm gonna get back. Please, if y'all doing all oregano, please 7 to 14 days. Stop at really 7 days so your body won't get used to it, because I want it to work, family. Stop. I know y'all on TikTok, and TikTok is wonderful, but sometimes y'all go too deep with it. That's why we here. Look, I got this paper because it has my phone number on there. And I can't put it live to y'all because it gets to the wrong hands. So that's why this is on my because it has my phone number on there. Because I'll be like, why is she walking around with some paper? What? Take that off. No. Has my phone number, and I gotta close it out. But I just wanted to say, I know we got this social media. And I tell y'all, research me. Research, go back and check the server, check the information for yourself, because I know we make mistakes, because sometimes we're on live and we're talking and we just be blurting things out. Like sometimes I meant to say garlic and I be saying turmeric, or I would say dandelion. I meant to say burdock root. Sometimes we say words and we think we're saying the right thing, but something else is on our mind and we say something and it's saying, oh, it's the wrong herb. I'm going to just say that because we can't edit live. It's like, yeah, but y'all know what editing and well, I haven't done it, family. I haven't done it. That's why I try to have different props so y'all can see stuff. But sometimes we say words, so you have to forgive. You know what I'm saying? I know some people don't believe that word, but we have to know that we human. You human. I put on my pants just like you put on your pants. You know what I'm saying? I study. I don't know if y'all study, but I study. I'm always studying. I'm always reading. I'm always picking up new books that people talk about. This one was recommended by, herbalist Jackie, my tax person. She recommended this book, and I just been devouring the book. I was like honestly, sometimes, yeah, I want to go from front to. I'd be like, okay, let me go read my 2, 3 chapters. I'd be like this. I'll just pick the book up. Most of the time I'll start back, but I'd be like, no, because I'm missing something. And then something to I'm like, yeah. And then we think about the person that because look, the information shared here is only intended for informational purposes only. We do not, any advice or product mentioned should not be used to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease. Always consult your healthcare provider. So we'll say something. And when I speak to people, I'll read that and I'll be like, look, because they always say, hey, can you cure? I'll be like, no, your body already now heal itself. I can tell you things that uh, that can assist. I'll use that word. I said, study shows. I know they be like, why is she throwing them words out? To cover my behind, to make sure that I'm covered and protected, because like I said, we go to these, the professionals, because, everybody's so used to school, trained, doctorate with the MD and this and that, but our grandparents and the people that's in our lives that's has wisdom could tell us better sometimes than them. Just like I was talking about the castor oil and turpentine, I'm like, go ahead, put that castor oil turpentine. I remember my grandmother, she was like fixing my face, and she'll go take that snuff and put it on it just as well and do stuff. And it's like, they got the secrets because they know that, look, they've been taking care of you, before you knew how to talk. They were taking care of you, changing your pampers. So you don't think they know everything about you? They know why you got a stomach ache. They know why your tooth is coming out. They even know, what I'm saying, why you need to go in there and relieve yourself. Your parents, your grandparents, your aunt, uncle, because they were the one that took care of you. So sometimes you're like, we put our trust, we put our trust in labels. We put our trust in labels without having the background, because I remember going to the doctor, I remember going to the doctor, and I know I was talking about social media, and I tell you how to research the person, meaning, go and see other people they helped. Go and help other people they talk to, because, I'm not going to force you to do stuff that you really don't need, because when I be saying certain words, y'all just shut down. Y'all be like, whoa. And I'd be like, y'all just shut down, because there's a such thing as moderation. And a lot of us, we don't want to do things moderate. We do not want to do things moderate. But on my Facebook, I have this picture. And on this picture, it says a lot. And this is why I was always I'm talking about from a little child. So from a little child, I would always complain about my side hurting. I'm like, what the hell is going on my side? I mean, the pain be excruciating. And y'all know sometimes we don't know how to explain stuff, and we be thinking we saying stuff, and we go to our parents and they be like, okay, we're going to take it to the doctor. So I have this picture on my Facebook. On my Facebook, it's pinned. So as soon as you go to my Facebook, I would love for you guys to like the page or support the page, because I have two. It's Very Wise Alternatives, but I'm trying to delete that one because They saying I put the wrong content. Delete it already. Delete Very Wise Alternative. Delete it already. Delete it. But anyway, I'm just saying, fam, because I can't delete it. I'm not trying to mess up my private page or my personal page, which is, Herbalist Viola, the colon queen. But anyway, hence colon queen. Anyway, I got this pinned up. And y'all see it, right? So it's a picture of, that's right, the large intestine. This, let me tell family, this is your large intestine. Y'all see that pic? Y'all see that picture? Y'all see it? So this person is impacted. And I was thinking, I'm gonna tell you, like, if y'all have been rocking with me for a year, 2 years, 3 years, this was me really, because I would go back and say my side hurt. But as a little child, y'all know how to give us that cheese. Come on now, family. Look, I ain't even got, yeah, look. I can't even pick this stuff up. But anyway, y'all know they used to give us this cheese, right? Y'all know. I'm born in the 60s. I'm born in the 60s, family. Yeah, so I'm in my 50s, my late 50s. I mean 58 next month. Next month, I'll be 58. And I'm proud of it, family. But anyway, they used to give us this block of cheese. And y'all know what I'm talking about. That cheese was good. What? You slice it, like you eat too much, you start really tasting it. And think about it, I was like, dang, that cheese, it tastes kind of plastic and fake, but we didn't know no better. All we knew was go get some cheese. Now, hence, I was telling you my side was hurting. I'm talking as a little child. I had to at least been, we're talking about 6th, 7th grade. I'm trying to think of Twin Parks. I was great. I lived right across the street, Twin Parks, right there in the Bronx, right across the street, the Bronx Zoo. And we would get that cheese, and we would get the canned food with the white label. Fam. Yeah, that's why I'm going way back when it was like 6 for $1, or I can't remember 10 for $1, but I still remember potato chips, a big bag of potato chips for 10 cents. 10-cent, family. So I'm going way back. And we ate a lot of bread, we ate a lot of oatmeal, we ate cereal. So for Sunday mornings, Sunday early, when you're upon waking it, yeah, I know I gotta use that word morning, but anyway, to my Saturday and Sunday, you got the pancakes, the waffles, the grits, eggs, and the bacon. You only got like one piece of bacon because you got to share with everybody else. But anyway, you got all that food, right? All that food. I know y'all mouth watering. And please don't go running off this video and eat it. Please don't be sitting right now eating the video, because I was eating my salad cookies. I didn't want to sit there and eat my cucumbers in here. I should have. But right now I'm making sure I stay hydrated. But that's what I should have been eating as a little kid, because this was me, family. And I was like, my little body was this. I was like, I'm having this pain. And look, prior to, I can't even say when, but during the 1920s, the 1930s, the 1900s, the 18, they made sure that they clean your colon out, because they knew that's what the problem was. But talking about the 60s, and that was that's like 72. That's like about 1972, 1977. Don't quote me, because I ain't even trying to think that far, but I'm just saying, this was what's happening in my body. This right here, this culprit right here, right there, fam. This was me. And I was like, dang. The doctor's like, well, if you go to the bathroom, I'm like, that's it. That's it. But guess what I would do? Go home, go to the bathroom, and go get another cheese sandwich. Who knew? And there was no dairy milk, because your mama, when they went to the store, guess what they got? They got a dozen of eggs or a carton of eggs. They got butter. That was dairy butter. Y'all know, or the margarine, the fake stuff, the ultra. I would call it ultra processed. And they got a gallon of milk, and they go get that salt with them 2 kids on it, with the umbrella. Whoo! And they get the 5-pound or the 25 bag of sugar with them little packs of Kool-Aid. Come on now, fam. That was the main thing in the bag, or the main thing going through the conveyor belt. And you're like, and I know y'all go to the shopping center too. Shopping center. And go get those same items I just said. Because remember the girl on the commercial? Well, on the this was Sesame Street. Her mother said, all right, go to the store. And she was trying to teach her memory. Tell my mama said a carton of eggs, a stick of butter, and some milk. Carton of eggs. She's just skipping along with her little money. Skipping along. And she go get that stuff. And I'm sitting there eating it. And I fed it to my children. We didn't know. And then we made sure we got the Tropicana orange juice. We'd be like, yeah, we're in the big leagues because we can afford Tropicana orange juice. Okay. And then in people's houses, instead of having the oranges, the apples, and the plums, it'd be fake. It was the fake plastic stuff. And you thinking you getting ready to reach your apple, you put it to your mouth and it's hard. You be like, your teeth get stuck or whatever. You be like, that ain't real. And then you wonder why your body is this. Hold on, because my phone tripping. Then you wonder why your body's this. This was me, fam. This is me. Found out when I'm 28 years old, it was a hernia. And I'm saying, like, what? I had a tear in my abdomen wall. Who knew? Tomboy running up and down, run up 11 flight stairs, running back down, bringing groceries up because the elevator rarely worked. But when it worked, we was good. Bring groceries up, and I'm wondering, how did I get a tear? How did this happen to you? What is the hernia? You know, we don't think, we're like, oh, let's have surgery. Because the poop was poking through, because I had so much in there. The poop was poking through my intestines. So y'all don't think about that. But if you go talk to Big Ma, she would have said, yo, go get that baby situated because she got a hernia. Grandma knew. Why I think we talking about putting a quarter on a big belly button. You'd be like, Grandma, see, instead of going to thems that you don't even know, you sitting there, oh, I'm about to say something. Y'all going to be upset with me, but if your stomach bigger than mine, if you bigger than, I don't know. But I had to check myself because I was like, you my doctor and your stomach bigger than mine? I'm like, oh, what's in your stomach? Is that a baby? It better be a baby. Is it? I know I'm cutting up, but we got to make this make sense, family. Make this make sense. How we putting our trust in people because they got letters. And I get it, fam, the education. Good. Maybe we should just read the books ourselves because I was thinking about that when I was little. And I know it's just me. I know you're like, Viola, this is not everybody, but I don't care. I will just go to the library and, you at the age and, when your mom letting you go out, because I had to be in the head. I had to be in the house by 5:00. It was a good thing. It was a good thing. It made me the person I am. So it's a good thing. Back then it was like, ew, this, you still a virgin? All this other crazy stuff, but oh well. My high school friends know me. But anyway, they be like, yeah, she was wind up tight and hyper. People like, let me tell you, look, I know this is TMI, but I sent this meme to somebody. I'm just gonna share it because it's in my head and I'm trying to get it out. So I sent this meme to somebody. I see it. And it says, it's Tuesday. And they was like, dang, that's how you are all morning, all night, and all day. And I was like, yeah, you need to have this energy. I see her. She having fun. And I see why I can get on here and be hyper, be at night, be hyper. I'm like this. So y'all getting to know me more. But what I want to say, I know it was in my head. So, okay. I'm getting text messages. Sorry, I'm on live. But it was in my head and I just had to get it out. So that's why I shared it. But going back to the picture, family, This is dangerous. Do y'all know that, right? Dangerous. When I'm telling you a coated colon, a block colon, it says clogged, but I add the other words. I add the other words because I says, make that make sense. If I'm having this issue, right? I'm having this issue. Why you want to know? Why you want me to fill out this sheet about what my mama did, my mama, grandmother, and grandfather? When if we went to grandma, she'd be like, yeah, baby, you need to go to the bathroom. Grandma, your uncle, your aunts, they be like, yeah, you wound up tight because they know what you be eating. We look, y'all already know. Y'all be going lying to them doctors. Yeah, because y'all lie to me. And look, I don't blame you, but it's just like you want me to feel good of, how can I put it? You want it to impress me. It's no impressing me. You don't have to impress me. You don't have to say, oh, I ate some vegetables and I ate a whole bunch of fruit. I'd be like, no, I just want to see so you can see for yourself. Just like I'm having y'all do the kidney test. So if y'all rocking with me on my podcast, I'm having everybody do a kidney test. That means you urinating in a glass so you can see every like twice a week so you can see for your own. And you can see what the doctors are seeing. The lab techs and putting the information and they send the lab work so you can see exactly what your kidneys are doing. Y'all can't see your blood. Y'all can't see your blood. But I'm pretty sure, I know this is going to sound crazy. If you put your blood on that little microfiche dish and they looking in there and y'all snap a picture, snap 3 or 4 pictures and send it to me, I can tell you what's going on with your blood. You'd be like, what the heck? Yes. I can tell you what's going on with your blood, whether dehydration, just about everything. Everything we've been lying to you, like get back to the poop. Why I think I'm on the kidneys? Because I want your, I want you to urinate well. I want you urinating correctly. You like, how you urinate correctly? What I'm saying is, I want to make sure the right stuff is coming out. Meaning, y'all got a lot of protein. Y'all can't see if your blood dirty, but you can see your poop and you can see your urine. And if you know about the urine, you already see the poop. The poop comes out, but y'all can't tell about the urine. Your urine should not be this clear. Should never, ever, ever, ever be this clear. Ever, 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 ever. Ever. I know my mistake, and I was like, you want your urine to be a little kid, but you want it tinted, and I was showing y'all different pictures. So I'm gonna look on here, and because this, I'm gonna tell, we're gonna get back to this clogged colon. We're gonna get back to this clogged colon because back in the day, like I said, they would empty you out. They were like, let's go and give us a suppository because a lot of stuff is stuck up in there, all up in there, baby, all up in there. All this whole, y'all see what I'm saying? And I know. Right here. So I can pull it out. Y'all see it? You see it now? All up in here. Yeah, the phone number covered. All this. Then we wondering why, because I know I told all y'all about that lymphatic drainage massage. I told you about the lymphatic, just doing the rubs, doing the tapping is vital. If I'd have known that back then, I wouldn't have had on the issues I had. I wouldn't have had to worry about my bladder acting up. Because look, if I would have did the kidney test, I had to alleviate that, right? I wouldn't have those problems. Then it wouldn't be painful bladder. So you're like, what the hell? But anyway, let me see if I can pull this up, family. And I know you're like, girl, you're going too fast. I'm going to slow it down because I ain't going too fast. Y'all can text me. Most of y'all got my phone number, so don't even go there because it ain't all that serious. But like, why you got it covered? Because I don't. Oh shoot! Did it fall off? It fell off, right, family? I'm moving way too much, and it fell off. So some of y'all probably got the number, but it fell off. But oh well. I'll stop moving. I'll stop moving so fast. Oh well. You try. Mistakes. Matter of fact, let me just roll it up. Because that's probably better. There we go. So y'all can see them guns. Don't worry, it's gonna be cut. Malik, I'll be there. I'll be there. But it's a certain way that you're, if I even can show it, like, you know, a little bit darker than that, because it's a lot of information that we're not getting, and it's so, so vital. Because right here, right where that dot is, right where that dot is, that dot right there is telling you the color of your urine. And if I go over, wrong way. Let me go. If I go over, this is kidney filtration. And now people are like, what the hell? Fam, stop playing with your health. Here, this is proper kidney function. Proper kidney function. Right here. This is what you're going to see. This is what you're going to see, fam, when you are looking in your bottle, when you urinate in the bottle. Try to fill it up. You be like, dang, in the morning, I'm trying to tell y'all, when y'all get up in the morning, some of y'all can fill this bottle. And this right here is like 14 ounces, 13 to 14 ounces. You put it all up here, about 14 ounces. You ain't trying to get that much, but you will urinate about that much. You're like, dang, I'm trying to tell you, some of y'all drinking too much. That's why y'all be getting up in the middle of the night. And if you just read my email carefully, because look, I'm just going to give you the basics where to start, and you just start there. And if you really want to drill down and get deeper in it, I'll be like, that's a consultation. It's $85. Yeah, $85 to do a consultation with me. That ain't a lot of money. Ain't a lot of money. Y'all can hang that behind up. But right here, you don't want this right here. You don't want that. That's a bubbling. But I just want to make sure I show you that, because when we go back to, us not being able to go to the bathroom and be impacted. Now, if y'all see, it's way up under right there. That's poop going way up under, you know what I'm saying? Your liver, your stomach. That's what some of y'all be like, my stomach hurt. And I'm like, let's make this make sense. Listen, you in the house. I know I keep leaning down. I want to knock that glass over. You're in the house with grandma, your aunt, uncle, you're with your mama. But some of y'all little. Even y'all grown folks, you with your husband, you with the kids. The kids done seen what you've been eating. The people on your job seen what you're eating. People saw what I was eating. I didn't play. Soul food. I made sure I got each meat. Y'all know y'all be doing that. I got my collard greens. I got my yams. I got bread, because you got to get that cornbread. And you eating all that food. But you ain't going to the bathroom. You running around, but you ain't hydrated. You eating chips. You thinking, oh, I can get past with this much to drink all day. Some of y'all maybe 14, 15 ounces. But y'all drinking minimum, but you're going to buy all those fancy drinks, all those $10, $15, $20 drinks, when you could just get an apple, juice that, and that'll be the best nutritious thing that you can have. I'd be like, make that make sense. Make that make sense, because they gonna tell you, oh, you can get past one day. Wait, make sure, because it's, what in the world? There we go. You can get past one day. I'd be like, so, and I'm looking at this, I'm like, that's about 2 days, almost 3 days. Because y'all know some people don't go maybe twice a week. I've known people personally, and I'd say, please call me. I would even give them a free product. And I'm just, my heart, because y'all can see me looking here and happy, and I'd be crying inside. Y'all be like, dang, you really crying inside? Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I be on live and I be all sad. But I was like, because you hearing all this stuff, and you're getting all these stories, but I'm still gonna be happy, still gonna be smiling. But when I get stories like this, I be like, no, you get some free product. Take this, put in the bag. I said, go ahead and do that now. I'll be mixing stuff up. Go ahead and take this now. I'll be like, and first thing I ask, are you on any medication? What medication you taking? What is going on? Because that is me. I'll be like, look, yeah, you really need to go. You need to leave here right now and relieve yourself. Because when I talk about a clog blocked, y'all hear me? A clog blocked or coated. Coated, just being coated, family, is bad. Why y'all think if y'all go on my Facebook page, I'm always putting this young lady that I go to for my colonic, for my hydrotherapy, for my colon. I just go ahead and share because she's right there and she could be my daughter. And I take it. I be like, I got a lot of honorary daughters. Quasia, you don't get mad, but I just be sharing my love. But I be like, y'all go to her because she's gonna take care of you and she's gonna get you right. It's about getting you right, family. It's about getting the truth. How about that? It's about getting the truth. It's about getting instead of going with a prescription that you be like, well, it ain't working. And then I'm more concerned about, well, what's really going on with your kidneys, your adrenal glands? What's really going on with that liver? Because that's a silent thing. I don't care if it regrows every 6 to 7 weeks. That ain't the issue. The issue is, has it become fatty? We don't think about that. They wait for cirrhosis and they wait for when it gets really bad. No, you need to know your organs. And now this is the main reason why I was like, have you talked to your grandma? Have you talked to the elders in your house? Because I laugh when I get, like this doctor came into my booth and she was like, I don't know, it was just bad. I was like, relax. You can be my sister. You can be my aunt. And you all like this. And I was like, man, I hope I don't act like that. I'd be like, can you get down to earth? I'm saying this in my head. I'm willing it to her, like, chill out, relax. And she was just saying some funny things, and she's about do the colon stuff work. And I'm like, you want to try it? I don't know why. And I was trying to be tactful as possible. You want to try it? But she was like, it's all this regulated. I was like, this is not prescription medication. This is exactly what I said. This is not synthetic medication. This is not prescription medication. And I'm not trying to suppress anything. These are natural herbs that God grows freely out there, but we don't even see it because we've been indoctrinated and been fooled and bamboozled because y'all hide it in the book that it looks so boring that we don't want to read. Come on now. Y'all know y'all don't want to read these books because I looked at the book and I was like, okay, how many pages? Oh, it's just 385. Okay. Let me take it piece by piece, chunk by chunk, because all I want to do is feel better. I'm going to you because we're in this system, this structure. Yeah, structure. That's why we got to do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Ain't no such thing as breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Y'all know I'm going to keep throwing things at you because I can get your mind to be like, make this make sense. Make this make sense. I want this to make sense because you hide in the books, just like these fairy tale books, because y'all know y'all not going to read no Pale Horse. I can't even think of the name. Pale Horse. The White Pale Horse. Y'all read that book, baby. You be like, oh, so that's where the truth is. So, but look, get me later. Y'all got my text. Y'all got my phone number. You got my email address. Email me and I'll tell you about that. I'll email you the book so you can check it out for yourselves. So when you read, you be like, them mother, just like the creature from Jekyll Island. You be like, all these name of the books. I should name my book. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. Why you making us dumb? I mean, y'all get on the TV and lie like with these things that starts with a T, and you been hearing it, and they was talking about skyrocketing, and y'all been know that all them famous name brands was from China. Y'all already knew that. We already knew that. But we still go out there and spend all our hard-earned money that can buy a house on just to have these labels on our body. Y'all, Make that make sense. I know. I told you. It's been about 2 weeks. I ain't gonna lie, but it was on purpose. It was on purpose because I was like, I don't even feel like saying it because I be talking too much. And yeah. Do y'all really listen? Y'all, I know you like what? I was supposed to go live last night. I know, Carrie. I was like, I'm going live, and I got up. I was like, no. So I got up now, and I was like, let me just go live because I said, let that make that make sense. That I can eat this big cheese sandwich when I was a little child, and they give it to us free. Free. I'm trying to get my mind right to say some right thing. You giving to me some free cheese. Why is it free? Why is the cheese free? Yes, you're trying to help the underprivileged. I mean, you got us living in this this type of housing because everything's red line because y'all know we can afford them houses. We built them houses. You took our land. Whoo, you stroke of a pen. But we living in the projects. You giving us free cheese. And we so close to each other that our energies, y'all know we got this big aura. If y'all don't know that y'all got an aura, y'all have a force field around you. You're like, what? I know a young lady wanted me to speak on ether and wanted me to speak on the energetics of the herbs, but y'all got to realize the energy that you have around you that's just going. It's just going. And ooh, I was like, make that make sense. So we're impacted in these nice apartments, but they're faced and turned inward, not outward, inward to keep our energy. And then we all mixed and compacted. And then the rice, the rice. It's not the rice, it's the rats. I'm not even gonna say mice because they wasn't mice, the rats, rats. That rat, y'all gotta look up that. Yaki Awaken has it. Go to Yaki Awaken TV and y'all go look at that experiment. And then you wonder why you act the way you act. You act the way you act because you don't mix energies with somebody. Y'all know that movie Fallen? We mix it too much and we're too damn close. We was too close. And they giving you, hold on, because that experiment was way back then. I already told you. I had a hernia, but I was compacted. My colon was compacted as a little child because I'm eating all this cheese and whoo and the bread. I was like, where's the fruits and vegetables? I was like, wait a minute. Because y'all know that grilled cheese, you'll eat it breakfast, lunch, and dinner because that's what you was taught. Ma, where's breakfast? You sitting at the table, happy to get a bowl of cereal. Happy to get a bowl of cereal. Then you wonder why you don't feel good. Then y'all be like, let me go to sleep. You be like, no, go outside and run around. Look, so children do not need, how can I put this? Children do not need the herbs per se. It all depends on their situation. Because I'd be like, make this make sense. Okay. Make this make sense, you know. I gotta do something silly. You're giving me this cereal, sugar. Then you want me to go to class and sit down and hold my hand and not talk? What? All this energy I got? And I'm gonna tell you, as a little child, I was like suppressed because I was like, and I remember that I was like, dang, you want me to sit still? I got to please this teacher. I know my aunts be like, she a bad child. I was like, no, you want me to sit down and I want to laugh and run around. Y'all know how the little boys, y'all know the experiment on our men's, our boys, teenagers, and men. It ain't stop. It ain't stop, family. Yeah, we gotta be here, fam. It's like I'm willing all of my knowledge. I'm just sending it to y'all. If you can be in the same room, be like, girl, I feel it. I know, I get. You be like, we'll be talking some stuff, but we'll be building because I ain't got time to be talking. I got time to be building. It's about building. Here I'm expressing a lot, but it's about building. It's like I was listening to the Love Doctor. That's his name. He's on a commercial, not his commercials, but he has it set up to where he's at his computer and he's rolling a chair. Man, he just tickles me to death. He rolls up and he go. My favorite is it was about a man. I'm just gonna say it. He was like, delete the messages, delete the memory. There's money to be made. And he wheeled up. I said, he talking to. I can relate that to so many people that I talk to. I'm like, and I ain't trying to name no name. I was like, I know who he's talking. I'm being silly. I'm being silly, but anyway. Anyway, it's like they want us to eat this food because we being experimented on, and it ain't. We still being experiment. Y'all know, still experiment. The red lines ain't start. It's actually getting worse. The food's getting worse. The ultra. I was like, with I know, family. It's okay. Even if y'all call me, it's okay. I can't keep it up. I can't keep it up. It's all right. It is. Just don't put it on on a thing. But oh, hey, Miss. What I can't even. Gina, how you doing? Miss E, Miss Diane. I say Donna. But anyway, that's what I'm saying. I was like, make that make sense. So, it's hidden in the book, like I say. We go to school and you give us certain books. Y'all know that, right? It's only the people who really have access to go to the library or even want to go to the library. Because y'all know we got to go home and things ain't really right at home at the homes, and my homes, and my people. Some things just, you got issues. There's issues, and especially when you realize that mom and daddy just wasn't close and they didn't get it right, and you got that type of family, because I end up repeating the same thing, having a child, like they say, out of wedlock. And like, what the hell is a wedlock? Can it just be a covenant marriage? Because that's the best marriage. Because putting this stuff on paper, I'm tired of all this paper, because y'all find a way to change it because it's us. It's us. Because look, I know I'm going into two different conversations, but it's like, make this make sense, y'all. So y'all know on and I'm gonna just say this, the Wizard of Oz, okay, Wicked is out, right? Y'all need to really pay attention, because they putting it right in our face, That's why they created the movies. Yeah, this is my date day, so I'm trying to hurry up and get done. But I'll probably be on for a little bit because it's been a while. I ain't been on in a minute. But this I know we really indoctrinated and we being silenced, and things ain't right. So I was looking at the movie Wicked. It took me about, I don't know. It just didn't sit right in my spirit, my aura. It was just like when I was watching the can't even get the movie out. I was watching the cars that would get up and be a human. I was like, it just did something to me. So I'm watching Wicked. It took me about 12 times to sit there and watch the movie. Of course, you can pause the movie and then it'll come back up. About 12, I was like, why can't I watch this whole movie? I was getting frustrated and aggravated. I was like, man, y'all so full of it. But think about us. Like, I know we was already here in America, because I know America is all the way from way up here in Canada, all the way down to Nicaragua. I can't even say it. Honduras, all the way down to the tip. That's the America, right? That's us. But they got the United States of America, right? But the whole thing is Turtle Island. I got make that make sense. We covered the whole damn thing. Us. So when they came over, y'all, this ain't no history. Transformers, thank you, sweet. Thank you. Thank you. But just think. Just think. Now, I'm going to have y'all relate this. We were already here. They just need to send that bad people places that they did. They had to send their people some place that they didn't want. That's the way I look at it. But anyway. But since we was doing so well over here, and we taught them, because y'all didn't come over here and know how to speak and all this other stuff. But just relate this to you guys going, and you got your apartment, you got your house, and you're going in your backyard, or if you're going to a plot of land and you have an ant problem. Now, the person who wrote the book Wicked, we have to look at what was his analogy, what was he trying to say in the overall, because we got that power. That's why we got the free cheese. Okay, so, and a whole lot of other free stuff, just like the WIC. Okay, so, because WIC was started by the Panthers, that's why the gangs really came about. Y'all got to realize, I said, what? Just so many gangs. We got so many gangs, but if y'all put them 3-letter words, y'all, gangs, we got to put the words where it is. But anyway, going back to the movie, it just didn't sit right with me. So I was speaking to one of the patrons that come to the booth, and we were just talking. Mr. T. Anyway, so he was just talking this analogy, and I was like, and we just been just deciphering, building. I call it building knowledge, learning different things. So he was like talking about when y'all go out and plant a garden, right? What's the issue when you got to plant a garden, right? And I was sitting here saying, well, I got an ant problem. And he was like, yeah, just think about that's us. So just think about the whole America with us on there, the ants. And he wants to eradicate. Sound like eugenics? And I'm like, make that make sense. But we the ant problem. And y'all look at the movie, the Oz didn't have no damn power. Not a lick. Glinda didn't have power. Who had the power? The green lady, right? Which represents us and the animals. Because back then we talked to animals. Back then we had our own knowledge. Because can't the ants talk to each other? Can't the goats, the dog, even your cat? They got y'all go look at it yourself. That's why I said make this make sense. Y'all still trying to kill us, and y'all wondering why we getting this free stuff. I be telling my daughter, I'm like, please, ugh. And I know I gotta let them grow, and I gotta let them move on and let them do stuff. But I was like, if I got some wisdom, if I can change stuff, I got to do something. I'm gonna interfere. And I know I'm wrong. Yes, I admit sometimes I interfere because I'm still their guide. Y'all can say what y'all want. Y'all can say what y'all want. I'm still a guide. Y'all got to read things and look at things. God said, make this make sense. You ain't a God. You got the melanated skin like me. Y'all better wake up and know y'all power. Y'all got the power. They got the intuition. I said, make this make sense. They stole the information for us and wrote a book and making millions and billions. They sent us to school certain books that you can read. Why do you think Trump changed your education? I reach out to Dane Calloway, and I listen to my man every day. I try to listen to him, and he be talking. I be like, I hope your books be in there because we need the truth. That's why we need to go to homeschool. Why you think the pandemic came? But they had to get the pandemic because we was getting We was getting ourselves. We was feeling ourselves. Guess what we was doing? We was building our own business. We would stop spending money with them because all they wanted the NIGGER pennies. I know y'all be like, Viola, you always saying that, but pennies could be a $20 bill, a $50 bill. Do I got 100 up here? $100 bill. Y'all gotta realize what they want. And then if you look at this, now it's becoming worthless. You be like, and everybody, and we got our children fighting for this because they want to wear the name brand. They want Louis Vuitton. They want Gucci. They want Nike. They want all. And you be like, if you don't sit your behind down right now, I'm just wearing color sneakers because I ain't caring about no. I know you be like, but you wear Nike. I said because I get it at a good price. Y'all go, I ain't even gonna talk about me, but I don't be playing full price. Honestly, I got the benefits from the military, so I be getting a nice discount. I be like, what? And y'all better go to them outlets. Stop playing, fam. You go to outlet, you be like, get them apps, get them discounts. Then you be paying China prices. I'm gonna put it like that. You be paying China prices. You be like, what in the world? So you mean just this will get me that Birkin bag? I think it's this. I think it's this, family. Because I was listening to the old girl. $20. I mean, no, $60. You got to get three of these green things with that number. Because y'all know when y'all on the internet, y'all know that ain't money, right? Those are just numbers and zeros. It ain't printed yet. Until it's printed. I had to think about that. Because I don't know if y'all into crypto. My family can tell you XRP. I should have took a snapshot of it and y'all would have been like, yo, you serious? Let me tell you, XRP on April 2022. See, they think they playing. Am I talking too much? Okay, 2022. XRP for one coin was trading at about $1 million. Me and my cream was like, wait, can I just buy one? Can I just sell one? I was like, yup. Yeah. Y'all better ask somebody. You go and look at XRP. XRP is $1 and $2. So what happened way back in 2022 during this pandemic? Because y'all was trying to get out, y'all moving money, and that thing was like one. Hear me out. Y'all be like the Bitcoin. Remember back in Bitcoin was $13. Your friends trying to tell you, like, I don't want it. I remember when Bitcoin was $2,000 and it was my girl Bargain. I appreciate you, my sister, because I should have bought it. And I wasn't, but I appreciate you because I do got some Bitcoin now. And that thing is like 67. It's going to hit 100,000 for one. I don't know if you got crumbs. You making money. That's why I said the biggest shift of wealth. And this is like, oh yeah, I'm gonna circulate this. I'm gonna circulate this so it can come back. I'm gonna circulate it because it's still usable right now. Still usable. But they're using this so we can get rid of this. So you can do some coins. That's why I'm trying to get my family up on these coins. Because I don't know if you know your president. The president, his wife, and the son got their own crypto coin. You be like, they do? Yeah. Look, make that make sense, fam. But we supposed to be talking about your health. We supposed to be talking about the colon. If your colon look like that, fam, we got problems. Like Viola shouldn't have worn the shirt, but I thought the shirt was cute because it got my logo on it. Got my logo. Let me pose for y'all. So on my shop, I gotta make my own clothes. If it gets too crazy, people keep calling me like, look, you're blocked. If I get spammed, I don't even care. So you got the number. Most of y'all got the number anyway. So I'm just gonna put it like that. I'm very accessible. I ain't no bougie, ain't no nothing. But still, it's like make sense. Just don't put the phone number up there, family. Just don't make the phone number. Put the thing up there. But all I was saying is, she said, I will take my daughters to the outlet and purchase. Yeah. Right. And you get it at an excellent price. You're not paying full price. To me, it's like, I'll get a discount in a minute. Because look, the things that I'm taking care of, I'd be like, nope, because they already try to have us not have one house. And I was like, so I'm gonna make sure I have one, two, as many as I can get. I'm gonna be totally honest. I was like, ground. I ain't talking about hanging out, partying. You know, if we want to party, whatever. But I was grinding. Business. I'm all about business. I'm a high D. I'm a high D. And what is it? I think it's oh no, it's a high if y'all do the flight assessment 2.0 with Eric Thomas, I put out the ETA inspires. Y'all go there, y'all find out, you know, what your superpower is. My superpower, I'm a high D. So I'm a pilot. Boy, and I need an air traffic controller. I'm gonna tell you, I need an air traffic controller. So my husband got to be an air traffic controller. You know, we don't realize that. We be mixing and matching, and we like, well, dang, why we don't get along? Why we falling out? Because y'all don't know what y'all really need. That's why we need to learn ourselves. And you learn this because the enemy already know you. Y'all already know that. Look, that's why the stroke of a pen, a lot of stuff change. But like I'm a high D, so I'm an air traffic, not an air traffic controller. I be fighting the system. That's what I'm fighting it now. I be fighting the system like I eating this free cheese. But anyway, so an air traffic controller is the one who likes systems. They got paperwork. You got to have the rules. They not a rule breaker. So that's what an air traffic controller, from what I'm understanding, overstanding about that. But I'm a pilot and more of a flight attendant. So those are my strong suits. They're like neck and neck now. So the grounds crew and the air traffic controller, whoo, I'm tanked out. But I learned to maneuver because I had a coach. I went on and had a coach, and I appreciate my coach. I learned a lot of things about myself. But all I can say is make this make sense, because if I'm gonna go back to the ant problem from the book. So, like I said, eugenics is strong. It hasn't stopped. It's getting worse and worse. So the analogy is we're the ant problem because we got so much power. Like when I was talking about your aura, your field, your this. They are so scared of us learning our strength, learning our power. Why you think they want you impacted? I said, what? Why is it better for you to have this issue? I would love for y'all guys to answer that stuff for yourself. Why you think they want you to have this issue? Why you think they want you to eat the meat? So much of it. I mean, I get it. I can't stop people from eating meat. Same thing. I can't stop you from the dairy cheese. I can't stop you eating stuff produced from a cow. Can't get you to stop eating crabs, fish. Make that make sense. So if it's clogging you up, backing you up, making you have this problem, because what y'all don't realize is you absorb through your intestines. You ain't getting too much from your stomach at all, because the stomach got acidic. It's very acidic. If y'all don't get what that means, it's breaking down. It's like the battery acid. It's whoop. So it can go in the juices in your stomach, the bile. So when it goes down into where it needs to go to the rest of your body for you to get the nutrients. That's all your body needs is the nutrients. All your body needs is some liquid like this. That's it. It needs liquid like this. Y'all hear it? That's all that's your body needs to break down to this. Right? Because if you think about it, I would love for you to eat apple, grapes. That's why I be like juicing. You be like, but you always talking about juice. Yeah, I'd rather you juice, and what come out the juicer, that's what you're chewing. That's what you want you to chew. So I would love to eat fruits and vegetables all day and every day, because we are frugivores. We are frugivores, and they don't want you to be a frugivore. I can get it by eating by blood type and all that, but be a frugivore for a month, and don't you get enlightened. I'd be like, make that make sense. Now, back to the ants. They're trying to eradicate. So if you go, I don't know the man's name. I knew like, what is she talking about? That is the whole thing. They want less and less, but less and less. They trying to be like the ant problem. They trying to take out the ants. So we have to realize. But guess what? Some of us just waking up. That's why they had to end the pandemic, because they wasn't making the money. The money was going to us. We was holding it, shopping with our own, building our own. Why you think with the DEA or with the DII, all that other stuff? It got to make that make sense. But anyway, we need to like take your energy. Like I was speaking to Pam the other day, and I was like, sis, I need you to take back your energy. We need to take it back. Like, sometimes like some people want you to act ignorant. Like, I was being ignorant because I was like, so if you want me to be stupid, and I'm saying this to Joe, you want me to be stupid, so I'm gonna be stupid, and I'm gonna be ignorant. So I had to be ignorant. I was like, you don't want emotional intelligence. Some people don't want emotional intelligence. And I was like, okay, so let me learn to be ignorant. I said, I'm just TMI family, TMI. But back to making this make sense. If you go watch the movie, you go watch those shows, they're telling you right there in your face, because what they say, let's kill the witch, right? That's all they want is kill a witch. So, and people are like, dang, are you a witch? And I'm like, dang, do I look like a witch? What do a witch really look like? I be like, why is it a witch? Because of the movie? A movie? And y'all hear voodoo, y'all hear all this other stuff. You're like, because of a movie? Y'all better recognize that y'all sound stupid, and we got to have emotional intelligence. We got to learn to sometimes be silent. So that's why I was silent for the last 2 weeks, because I know I be saying something like, what's she saying? But anyway, I know I told you I was going to show you this book, and in the book, the answers is right there, because I was talking about eat them bitters, and it's the book, the herbal antibiotics. Y'all hear it, right? It says natural alternatives. Now y'all see why I use this word in my business. Name my business. Because I was like, y'all need different alternatives, period. Y'all need different alternatives. So it says, so I'm on page, look, I ain't even on the book. But this is page 6. I'm like, how is it page 6? Look at family. Let's count this with me. The book opens here, right? So you got one page. I know it's back and front. But you got this page. So when you open the book, you got the table of contents, right? Then right here, it says that, what it say? Read it, family. Wait, hold on. Let me get it. Let me get it closer so y'all can see it. It says the evolution of modern medicine. Y'all see that, right? So if y'all look at it, I want to make sure it says 8 million years ago. It says 5.2 going all the way down to the 2000s. Y'all see that? I know it's not really clear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably do like a little clip, like a little 5-minute video, so you guys can read this for yourself. Now on here, which I was laughing, it says one chimp to another, I have a stomach ache. And I'm like, these are the monkeys. Hear me out, family. See, I don't, because I was looking at the wicked witch, and the monkeys was talking. Y'all got it. Y'all got to get this. That's why I said watch the movie, because y'all don't get it. Right here, it says, I have a stomach ache. And then it says, here, chimp, eat those bitters. Herbs. And I stopped and I threw the book. I said, these, and I had all kind of, and it's look. I know people say you cuss and all this other stuff, but it was more of all the lies just, crossed my mind. Because y'all know we think of negative things so fast, and the negative things, we shouldn't be just like, I knew it. But that's all I should have said is I knew it. But I was like, nope, because the the it's like I heard a bell. I ain't even got my bell. I heard a bell ring like ding ding ding. There you go. I was like, okay, so it's another lie. And it says 8 million years ago, one chimp to another. See, the monkeys was talking. And y'all be thinking it's different. I'm like, no, they think they slick. And here this is 5 millions ago, right? I'm here says here, one, and y'all know those big mammoth, right? Those big I think that's what that is. One big it says hummer, right? So it says here, it says eat those bitter herbs. And I was like, this has right. So here, I can't really focus because it's, let me see if it focus. See, it won't really focus, family, but right here, this one right here, right there, right? This is the chimp, 8 million, 2 million. 2 million years. I know I'm gonna put it clear because I was tripping. I said, look at these MFs, right? And it says here, homo. It says HOMO. Here it is. It says, and the bitter herbs and have some. And I'm like, these mother. I'm just sitting here. It's telling me eat the bitter herbs. And then it's saying here, it says 2,000 years. Says here, man, eat those bitter herbs. Here it is. Right here. It says here, man, eat them bitter herbs. So you know they're trying to say like before Christ. Because I'm gonna try to tell you. So 5,000 years ago, before zero, because it says right here, it says the Savior's born. And I was like, y'all know y'all wrong. It says the Savior's born, faith can heal. It says it in the book, and I had to laugh. I said, these people, they know what they're doing, and y'all don't get. And it says right here, eat these bitter herbs. That's why I was sitting there laughing. I said, the answer's in the book, because you said they're saying because Jesus came. Now, there was no J, and y'all can, and I know it's not, this is not a religion, whatever, or Jesus, but here it says the Savior's born, and it says eat those bitter herbs. So in Genesis, it talks about y'all eating herbs, but we want to keep eating the cheese, the dairy, and wondering why we're not feeling better. So I'd be like, make that make sense. Make that make sense. You're getting diagnosed with cancer, but you don't want to put down a potato chip. And I'm talking about the potato chips that you get out of the supermarket. I'm talking about the dairy ice cream. I'm talking about you not sitting down believing that you are a God. Your body know how to heal itself. Matter of fact, if you stop eating, the body will clean itself out. Because we're not doing lymphatic massage. We're not making sure I lymphatic massage. We it's like, make that make sense. Grandma, granddaddy knew, uncle knew, a great uncle, all of them knew, but we going to a new person, and a new person is doing different. That's like, make that make sense. We're too smart for our own good because we still with this bubble. We got all this energy, and you forcing this stuff on me, and I'm like, but that don't make sense. You telling me I need to pick up this book and tell Jesus that it's working, but in the book it says about to get the herbs because God, because he made you his image. You are God. You got anyway, family. Make that make sense. And I'm like, okay. So if we go down, because it says BCC and it says CC, after I'm just saying, look, and it says CC. It says the prayer is a superstition. I was like, okay. So it says 1950. That prayer is superstition. Here, drink the bitter potion. I said, what? But we believe in superstition. Don't run, get that cat. The number 13. Number 13 is a beautiful number because it's supposed to be 13 months. So it'll be 28 days. Okay. Then here it is, 2000. Here we are because it's 2025. 25 years ago, what it says, the bitter antidote is artificial. And I said, y'all need to stop. But at the end, it says, eat them bitter herbs. But nobody wants the bitter herbs. I sell about any, y'all just text me or email me. I sell every bitter herb that you can ever want. I got bitters for everything in your system. Bitters at my shop. The Herbal Connection. And I'm not here to promote it, but I'm just saying, I'm reading this book and it says the evolution of modern medicine. Evolution of modern medicine. And we run around here filling ourselves up with all of this dairy, cereal, these wheats and grains. They process it and take out the vital nutrients that your body needs. I said the vital nutrients. Why you think Dr. Saban not here no more? Because he was telling you how to get HIV, herpes, cancer. This Dr. Sebi. He showed you through the nutrients of vegetables, mainly fruits. He showed you what to eat, how to eat it, how to detox. A lot of y'all walking around with so much plastic, so much metals, and then you wonder why the parasites hide. They hiding. When I say they run like roaches, they run like roaches. You go cut your papaya, cut that bad buddy right in half. Not half, like when it's long way, you don't cut it that way. You cut it right down, just put it to the side to where you're cutting it down to the middle, to where it look like a bowl. So you can scoop all them seeds out, put them in a not a plastic. I ain't mean the plastic. Go ahead and put it in a glass. Because y'all know I got plenty of these. Put it in a glass. Let me drink some water. Because I've been sitting for an hour. Let me stand up and move my legs a little bit. Yeah, I gotta move. Been sitting here talking an hour. What? Y'all talking about a parasite cleanse? Parasite cleanse from your fruits. Scoop it out. Just scoop some. Just eat them seeds. Eat them. You can put a little lime, put a little clove. If you got some, if you got some black wormwood hull or I'm trying to black walnut hull, some wormwood, put it on there. Cloves, some cinnamon. Bring them bad boys out. I'm just saying, fam. I'm just saying. Because your stomach is this, and if your colon is this, not your stomach, if your colon is this, baby, I'm just saying. You know how much parasites is in there having fun? What? Your body's reabsorbing it. They knew what they were talking about because they had to change themselves. Just like when my daughter told me about Herbis Kareem, and the brother was talking to me, and I'm like, what? Studying, getting books, just read. I got little books over there. Look, got my little sheet right here. I gotta realize what your hormones really do. This sheet was my cheat sheet during class. I was like, okay, the hypothalamus, the pituitary. I'm just trying to say, because I was like, oh, so you telling me the pituitary secretes multiple, I'm trying to tell you, hormones that regulate the endocrine system, the activities of the adrenal cortex, your thyroid gland, and the reproductive organs, and the hormone that stimulates the melanin production. You be like, what did you just say? I said, just with your body. We don't realize what our pituitary, you be like, this is like in your brain. So you having problems down here in your sexual organ, you better clear that brain. You better clear that lymphatic system. Why you think I'm telling you to do your lymphatic massage? Why you think I'm trying to tell you to do that? Why you think I'm sitting here telling you to do that? A lot of us are not tapping. We so clogged that we wondering why it ain't draining. Why my system ain't changing? Because you're not taking the time to do what you need to do to be unclogged, because your head is clogged just like this. Your head is clogged just like this. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't want to eat. We don't want to stop eating. We be like, wait a minute, wait a minute. So you telling me that in the morning, I can't have no cereal? Only if you make it. If you make it with some flax seeds, some chia seeds, or just get some fruits and vegetables. And you know what? It's sad because I had to realize that. I was like, let me make this make sense, because I'm buying all this stuff so I can put it in the cabinet to fill my cabinet, but it's really poisoning me. I had to think about that. I know y'all be like, girl, I ain't throwing that shit away. I get it. I get it. I get it. Y'all don't think I be wanting to do it? I be like, but my health, my heart, my body is a temple. It already know how to heal itself. It already know how to heal itself, but I'm gonna give it junk. I was like, but make that make sense. We got to. This stuff is free. Let me just get this free. Let me just eat the meat that's in my freezer. And I'm like, wait a minute, should I eat the meat? I ain't giving it to nobody. People are like, why you don't sell goat cheese and all? I said, I'm not giving you that. I'd be thinking about all the things. I'd be like, it don't make sense because I don't want to poison you. I don't want you to get cancer. I don't want your stomach to get messed up. If I go to my elders had a little bit. They had a little bit of meat. Because I'd be like, man, can I really eat this whole chicken? Can I eat? Y'all know we be eating a half a chicken and French fries. And then you think about a half a chicken and French fries. I'd be like, wait a minute. Where was my greens? Where were my vegetables? We don't look at exactly what we eat, and we just says that's a meal. Then you wondering why, if you go to the Asian community and you see them eating a lot of, they'll eat a whole bunch of vegetables, and then they have a little bit of meat. That's safer because we just don't realize how toxic our body can get between your small intestines and your large intestines when you mix the starch, which is like rice, mashed potatoes. We're talking about oats, grains. We talk about the oats, grains mixed with meat and vegetables. Oh my gosh. We talking about toxic. Woo-hoo-hoo. This word right here, baby. Baby. Woo. Then you wonder why you malnutrition. I'd be like, I don't know what else to say. That's why I love this picture depicts so much. It'll answer any question you throw at me. This will answer it. It will answer it. And I just sit here and I'm like, wow. I was like, make this make sense. Because we scared to do this right here. We scared to detox. My mom was saying, go in and get that papaya and eat them seeds and store the seeds, because you ain't gonna eat all of them. You just take a spoonful each day. If you want to do that parasite cleanse, take a spoonful each day. Go and get you some cucumbers. Go in and get you some pineapple. You put just a little bit of ginger, and go ahead and put some cilantro and parsley up in there, because we got to do a chelator. We that's why I tell you spirulina. We're talking about heavy metal detox. We don't do that. We leave the mucus inside. We leave the parasites inside, and the parasites actually are like a little solution to clean up what you're doing in your body. The parasites in there actually helping, but they're hurting you because they in there doing the do, multiplying. Some are dying. The toxins and spores spilling out their eggs. So I know. I'd be like, make that make sense. But I really just made this video so you can see this page right here. But just know your power. I'm going to keep harping on your power. I keep saying, know your power. You got to take your energy back, because sometimes we got to wake up. Because if you do, like I said, even if you do 3 days, you're going to get a revelation. If you get 3-day fruits and you go in there doing that urine, you be like, oh, look at the difference. I am not filtrating, but if I eat all these fruits, I'm filtrating. I'd be like, ding, 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 ding. I'd be like, I'm getting it out. My kidneys are working. My adrenals are working. Y'all got to realize the power of your adrenal glands. I had to study this every single day and just think. I didn't care about this before herbalism. I did not care, because I was like, the doctor's going to help me. I did. I was like, I can always go to my doctor. What I want to worry about? I'm gonna go to, and they're gonna tell me the truth. There's a doctor that's on, and I wanted to get his name. Oh, I wanted to get his name. There's a doctor. He's on TikTok. Matter of fact, he's on a commercial. He's probably on a commercial right now during his live. Come up saying, hey, I was a doctor, but then I realized they was just giving me sick care. They was teaching me how to maintain, keeping you on prescription. This is what he's saying. And I'm like, so you went to the school and you spent you already know it. You spent about a half a $500,000, because about 500,000, almost, depends on what school you went to, almost $1 million to get that doctor, get the MD behind your name. You spent all that money in school, and you could have took an herbalism course that just cost you less than $5,000. Just think that, family. Think about this. Make that make sense. So to get the paper from the big schools and be in school for almost 12 years, you've been in school almost 20 years. You know, I'm going to make that make sense. But I could take an herbalism course for 2 to 3 years, and I learned the same thing, and I learned who telling the truth, I make that make sense. But I need to get all these papers, the accreditation, to be in y'all system, to be with you guys, because I gotta take that paper. It didn't make sense. Don't make sense. Make sense. I don't know. I don't know how far, if y'all really on here, if y'all listening to me, make that make sense. So for me to get that job, I need the bachelor's, master's, and you're gonna pay me $22 an hour, $30 an hour, because I gotta have the paper, and I gotta keep up knowing how to get on the computer, keep all this other stuff. And I'm making $20 or $30 for that 1 hour, when I can make a product. And I appreciate my teachers for teaching me this. I make one product, like they made this product. Everybody, even our children at 7 years old, this product may cost $1,300, and they make them so fast. Yeah, y'all see, I got the things, and I offer these things too. But this thing, this device is almost $2,000. I'll just round up to $1,500, and they sell every second. So that's what I want y'all to see with business. That's what I learned from my brother. So I can sell, like they sell these pens. Everybody need a pen, and they sell a billion in probably 1 second. I don't know, and all that clicked. And I'm like, I'm working for hours for dollars when I can just use my intellectual properties and make that money in a second. Yeah, and that's why these tariffs and all that stuff going on. Why, yeah. Now, I say intellectual properties. That's why I said you're powerful beyond measure. I had to wake up and realize that my damn self. I was like, wow. And I'm sitting here bragging how many years I was in the military, and I was like, what? And got out. The military didn't have a savings, didn't have a good plan where I can just sit home and chill. Now I can sit home and chill, but I was like, Now that I learned this herbalism game, and I was like, make that make sense. I was like, health, help, it's just so much. Yeah. But anyway, the answers are really in these books. And this is another good book I want to talk to y'all about. I don't know we're not talking about books, but it's at the end and we just rambling. Y'all know I can talk trash now. I can talk more trash because ain't nobody watch the end of the thing. But y'all need to take a look at this book right here, Overcoming Hurts and Anger. This is a good book, and it's saying why are you so angry. One, you already know you've been lied to. You already been lied to. And I know I meant to give my sister back her book. So I got this book. It's 19 keys. She got my numbers book, but I said nice even trade. Nice even trade. I can always buy the book again. But yeah, Overcoming Hurts and Anger. It's a powerful book. Powerful book. Be like, why are you so angry? For one, you've been lied to. So we got to learn to take our energy back and know people, they will lie to you. That's one thing. They will lie. The people that you love the most is the one that's going to hurt you, cut you. Why? Because you already loved them. You didn't think they was going to do you dirty. You wouldn't think that they would do the things they do, but you'd be like, be gone, peaceful, because you create your own. It's up to you if you want that nonsense in your life. Think about it. Your family get on your nerves. And I'm not talking about your husband and your children or your wife and your children. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you create that atmosphere. Stop acting like the kids rule you. Like I was talking to a parent, said I can't get him to stop eating dairy. Well, who bring the dairy in the house? Come on, we gotta relate. And I know you're gonna have a issue, but we gotta say, I'm mama, because you are their God. We gotta. I know y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all gotta realize who's God. You're not talking about the overall highest power, the greatest frequency, the highest frequency, known to us, which is God. But you are a God. Melanated, hated so much because they dumbing down our power. We are powerful. I can say this over and over again, but you just don't know your power. You don't know your intellectual power. If y'all want to go do the disassessment, it's the ET. He does the flight assessment. Flight assessments, and I know a lot of people probably, if you work at a bank, you took that test. You actually took that test. And some people they want air traffic controllers. They don't want no high D, because our high D, we don't want they realized a high D, and I was like, dang, I'm a high D, didn't know why I'm speaking out loud, why I'm doing this. I was like, I thought I was shy, timid. I'd be like, dang, Vaya, you do be saying some stuff, and I don't know why. And I was like, dang, why you act like that? I promise when I found out I was a high D, I cried like a baby. I was like, what the hell? No wonder I do this, and no wonder people would be like, no wonder you can't keep a man. I was like, well, that ain't it. They just didn't want to understand and overstand me, because that part, if y'all get me, that part, because you have to let them know, I'm a high D. It ain't saying a lot, but then you'll know how to speak to me and how to take care of me. You know how to love me. Just put it that way. You learn how to love me. I'm gonna laugh at that. But family, if y'all got any questions, please ask the question. Good. I'm glad you're taking the bitters. Yes, the bitters are ooh-wee, but they powerful. They powerful. They'll make you wake up. And you be like, wait a minute. I'm feeling something. I feel something. You'll start feeling yourself. You start knowing yourself. You start loving yourself, because you start breaking all those barriers. When I say breaking all those barriers, then you be like, make this make sense. How you going to tell me this and that ain't jiving with me? I know cancer needs to go into lymphatic system so it can go out my system. I know that I got this rash. That means something's going on with my gut. You know what I'm saying? We got to realize that our glymphatic is, like I was talking to my cousin yesterday about her ears. And I was like, baby, you may want to pull that tooth. A root canal. Babe, let me tell you, fam. When Herbal Cream was teaching us about the teeth, you don't really pay too much mind to it until you start speaking to people more and you hear their issues. Just imagine you had a heart attack and it was your tooth. You'd be like, that don't even make sense. And I'm going to tell you, it don't, but it's true. It is true. You have a periodontic disease and you don't even know your tooth is rotten. You don't know if your tooth is slowly poisoning your teeth, slowly poisoning you because you had a root canal. You'd be like, because I had a root canal. Y'all better go back and watch them videos. Let me tell you, just because y'all see a video and a video say 2 hours, 3 hours, then that's the video you need to be watching. I don't care what nobody. That's the video you need to be watching. We're going to be like, dang, because Dan Calloway had a video, and I think it said 7 hours. Who you think sat there and was working on product and listening to everything he said? Because I was like, he gonna say something, and I was like, yep, bing. I kept getting knowledge, nugget, this. That's why I be like, yeah, I gotta stop. I know my nose itching. I don't rub my nose. My nose is running a little bit. I try not to touch it. But anyway, it's a lot of things that we don't really pay attention to. A lot of things that be like, make that make sense. Just like when y'all in church. Yeah, I know y'all in church and y'all got so many questions. And they be like, no, you do not question. You be like, why not? How you gonna get the understanding, overstanding? Then I'm like, is it because you don't know? You know, blind faith. Faith without works, hey, don't jive. Like they said, it's dead. It is. You can have all the faith and not work. How you think it's going to work? Come on. If you got a stomach issue, why are you eating? Your stomach's upset. What you keep eating for? Oh, I'm just hungry. That growling in your stomach, Sometimes we got to chill. Sometimes we got to be like, well, baby, I need to sit down. Yes, you need to sit down and stop eating. But matter of fact, you need to move. You need to move. You need to move your lymphatic system. You need to be moving. Just like when I was, let me see if I can pull it up. Because this is one thing they don't show us when it's talking about moving your lymph and you'll be like, what's that? It's your sewer system. It's just for you to move all this stuff out your body. Because of this right here, you can actually go see my girl, eat some fruits and vegetables, mainly some fruit. Some people need vegetables because it all depends on what's going on with your body. If you're taking chemo and all this other stuff. And, you know, I can show y'all so many different clips and so many different things. And you'd be like, no, that ain't it. But I want y'all to see your lymphatic system because it's not depicted up here. And they do that on purpose. Fam, this is your lymphatic system right here. This is your lymphatic system. You're like, what the hell? You be like, it's that much? That is your lymphatic system. That it all the way down to your feet. And you see where it's in your neck, your lymphatic system. And this is what's clogged. And that's why I say do the lymphatic massage. We just, and here it says restore kidney function. If you want to restore kidney function, it says eat berries, melons, fruits, and an herbal compound to restore proper kidneys filtration. It's filtration. That is the key. Here it is. Fasting strengthens. Here, fasting strengthens and rejuvenates kidneys and regenerates the filtration. See, that's why I be wondering, well, Viola, why you don't eat? I be like, because I'm working my body. People are like, well, you got so small. I'm like, because I'm working my body. I do not care what you see or how you feel. I know how I feel and I know what I'm not going to get and what I'm not going to do. I do things on purpose. I'm just not going to do it. People are like, well, I can't take you to eat. I'm like, then that's your problem. That's not my problem. I can go anywhere and sit down and eat and have a nice meal. People are like, but this, I'd be like, man, look. I'd be like, look, trust me, I know. I'd be like, I got a lot of stuff on this thing. I'd be like, man, I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time. Because you have the issues with you. And look, fam, it's like the moral to the story, we have to make things make sense to us. And it has to make sense to where you can see it and prove it. When I sit here and read these books, every herbal book that I picked up, it complains about meat. It complains about dairy. Complains. I know it's explaining because I just want to use some words for you to get it. It tells you how is it hurting you. Just like when people lie to you about that fluoride. What? If you knew what fluoride did, you'd be like, you would probably want to go and sue your dentist. I'm just saying. There's a lot of things that We've been lied to, and just don't make sense. Just don't make sense. But anyway, fam, if y'all got any questions, go ahead and look. I appreciate you guys. I really do. Yeah, powder milk too. All I can say is this: if you have flax seeds, chia seeds, hemp, you can make your own milk. If you got the cashews, if you have the nuts, the walnuts, almond, coconut, make your own milk. And the only reason I'm saying make it because you know what's in it. If you're suffering from any of these things that they give you, stuff that's going on with your I'm talking about your simple arteries. If your arteries clogged, what are you doing? Fam, what are you doing if your arteries clogged and you continue to eat meat? There's a part of the body, I don't know what side, I think it's this side. There's an artery that's called a widowmaker. And a lot of my men's, like I speak to so many truck drivers, and I'm like, look, fam, y'all need to get these mason jars. And even this is in a mason jar. This is one of my friends that I met at a show. And they make these candles. You can buy any kind of mason jar and put your food in there. I know y'all busy, and I know you're like, I don't have time for glass, but it's so important that you get it. You know what I'm saying? I know the plastic, and they talking about the plastic, but look, now the plastic, they can't even get rid of it. Like the Tupperware and all that. I know if you got a Tupperware business, I'm so sorry, but glass is what we need to get back to. Sterling silver or not copper. We need to go back to eating that. If you want to eat with your hands, have at it. Because eating, your body can regulate and see if you're full or not. But I be like, oh, you done picked up 15 times. I think we full. I think we full. That's why babies be full when they eat one whole mango. One whole mango is like, oh, that's like nature's candy. We got all this other fake stuff, but mango, you eat a mango or you eat a half of pineapple, you be like, oh, I'm full. Body knows. Body knows. And you're giving nutrients, you're giving it what the body needs. The body needs that sugar. Yeah, I know if you got the thing that called diabetes where your pancreas was your insulin. You're making your body lazy. Let's not make our body lazy. Let's get it to heal itself. Like I put a clip. I don't know if you looked on my YouTube, my Facebook. I just put a thing about fasting. Right at that 48 to 72 hours. Whew, the body's in. Whew, I say in its own heaven. Because your body like about time. I've been trying to clean these free radicals out and get these parasites out, but you playing around. You didn't want to give me no clove. You don't want me to give me no olive leaf. You don't get, I said slippery elm, cleavers, plantain, root bar, all these things are excellent. Seneca, excellent, 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 excellent. Even a cayenne pepper, hawthorn berry, beetroot, turmeric, excellent, excellent. But for as the body, fruits and vegetables, mainly fruits. We're frugivores. But it's like we sit here and we don't make things make sense. We go to the doctor going to give us some stuff. And it's not really for us, me saying with the doctor, I'm just saying, but it has to make sense. You already know what you ate at the house because your family knows. So sometimes it's good to talk to an elder in your house. And they be like, yeah, baby, you need to do this. That's why we got to get the second opinion. And I know you go to the doctor, get the outcome, the outcome. They got the blood work. They got all of the equipment. You know what I'm saying? But there's other people that got that equipment too. But why you just sit there and tell me what you eat, and I can tell you what's going on with your body because I'm looking at the key areas. I'm looking at your eyes. I'm looking at your skin. I'm looking at your face. I'm looking at your nails. I'm looking at your tongue. Your eye. I'm looking at so many things. How your hair, how you stand, the overall shape of your body. You know what I'm saying? We all should have a flat stomach because of that picture that I started off with the colon. Because if your colon's impacted, you have way more worse things. You know what I'm saying? That is where you should be concentrating, right there. Because if you're hurting, you don't think you get diverticulitis where another sac could come, where poop is just sitting there, and it's another pocket. That's all it is. Another pocket onto your colon. So you done ripped and pushed out a pocket. That's what you did. You put out a pocket. That's all that is. That's all it is. And if you don't keep it flowing, it can rupture and burst, and you can die, because it takes they got to go in there and make sure you got to protect the other bodies, because messing with a colon, oh my gosh, you should not have a rip, a tear, or bleeding. And study shows cayenne pepper. Woo! Y'all need to be doing cayenne pepper every day. But if you're doing the tincture form, just know that you cannot do it with prescription medication. You gotta wait 3 to 4 hours. But I'm not gonna stay. I see y'all don't have any questions. Whew, let me go look. I don't see any questions, but I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the ones that's on. Yeah, I finally went live, but all I know is sometimes we sit down and we don't realize how still trying to get rid of you. And I'm like, make that make sense, because you need our money. We're the one that's really spending a lot. Imagine if we didn't spend any. Whew. I'm with you, Dane. I'm with you. I'm about to send you $25,000. I'm about to send Dane Calloway $25,000. He know why. Anyway, bruh, I appreciate you. Well, anyway, if y'all don't have any questions, I'm gonna go ahead and end. But y'all can always put comments down below. I will get them. I will definitely get them. All I ask is, if you see the phone number, do not put the phone number in the box. Do not do that. Because I already know I'm gonna get some calls. I got a couple of text messages, but it's okay. It's okay. Life goes on. But anyway, I appreciate you guys taking the time to look at my live. I'm gonna get ready to get off. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. And if y'all have any questions, the email is support@verywisealternatives.com. Alternatives is with the S. So, all right, family. Love you guys. Peace.